Why do so many people struggle to fully experience life? David, William, Pierce, welcome back. And by the end of this video, I'll give you the answer, because this week's tantric teachings explore the world of the senses. If you've ever felt disconnected from life, like you could feel grateful or connected or alive, but somehow everything feels flat, then this teaching will help explain why. Each week I create a quiz based on the studies that I'm doing to help me integrate the learnings. And in this video, I'll go through each question, explore how it can help transform your everyday life, and reveal the answer. Because Tantra isn't really about learning philosophy, it's about understanding and expanding yourself. So let's dive in. Question 1. According to Tantra, why do we even have senses like sight, hearing, and sound? Well, have you ever found yourself wondering, why don't I enjoy life like I used to? While most people assume we're looking at the world, Tantra suggests something more interesting, that our senses evolved because reality already contains qualities waiting to be experienced. Which means the problem isn't usually that life has become less beautiful, it's that we've become less available to experience it. If you're not enjoying life like you used to, you may be stuck in a loop of noticing the familiar. So take a moment to look around you, to notice the details that you typically filter out. Notice what you can hear, what colors you can see, the textures that you can feel. Not only does this change the way you experience the moment, it begins to rewire how you experience your life and relationships. So the reason we have senses is because they evolved to correspond with the qualities already present in reality. Question 2. In the tantric system, what are the 5 subtle elements? Now, if you're feeling trapped in anxiety or regret, many people stay there because they live largely in either imagined futures or remembered pasts. Your senses constantly invite you back into what is actually happening in the present moment. So one way to break out of your loop is to notice something, not in yesterday, not in tomorrow, but right now. Taste, smell, touch, sound, and texture. These are the subtle elements in the non-dual Shaiva tantric system. Every one of these exists in the present moment. Question 3. What does Tantra suggest our senses are really doing? Well, if you've ever wondered why 2 people can experience exactly the same event yet walk away with completely different experiences, Tantra suggests that your senses aren't simply recording reality, they're translating it. Your nervous system, your past experiences, your beliefs and conditionings all influence what you experience. Which means the goal isn't simply to change your circumstances. Sometimes the greatest transformation comes from recognizing that you've been relating to reality through an old filter. The next time something triggers you, pause and ask yourself, am I responding to what's actually happening or to the meaning that I've unconsciously attached to it? According to Tantra, our senses are translating vibrations into our experience of reality. Question 4. According to this teaching, why do many people struggle to fully experience the world? Do you ever catch yourself overthinking everything? Many of us believe we're experiencing reality when in truth, we're experiencing our thoughts about reality. The conversation becomes the story you're telling yourself about the conversation. Your relationship becomes the story you're telling yourself about your partner. The more time we spend inside our thinking, the less available we become to life itself. Today, notice one conversation without rehearsing your response. Just listen. You may discover that reality feels very different when you're actually present for it. So Tantra suggests we struggle to fully experience the world because we spend most of our time filtering reality through our mental stories. Question 5. What does Tantra mean by feeding the goddess of the senses? Have you ever felt like life has become a little numb? Many people think they need bigger experiences to feel more alive. A better holiday, a new relationship, another something. Tantra points in the opposite direction. The invitation isn't to chase more stimulation. It's to bring more attention to what's already there. So the next time you drink a coffee or eat a meal or walk outside, slow down just enough to experience it fully rather than rushing to the next thing. Feeding the goddess of the senses means giving careful, mindful attention to your sensory experience, really taking it in and enjoying it for what it is. Okay, question 6. What is one benefit of fully engaging the senses? Well, if you've ever felt like life has lost its color, it's because many people assume they've lost their passion. Sometimes they've simply lost their presence. When your attention returns to your senses, the ordinary often becomes vivid again. Beauty was never absent, your awareness was. So today, an invitation to deliberately notice something beautiful that you've walked past countless times before. One benefit of engaging the senses fully is that the world begins to feel more vivid, more beautiful, and more alive. Question 7. Which everyday activity could become a tantric practice? Well, do you think spirituality only happens on your meditation cushion? One of the things I love most about Tantra is how practical it can be. It says your next meal can become a spiritual practice, your next walk, your next conversation. The difference isn't in the activity, it's the quality of attention that you choose to bring to it. So today, choose one ordinary activity and do it fully, without multitasking. Slowly savoring a meal with full attention is a simple example of an everyday tantric practice. Question 8. What happens when we constantly live inside our thoughts instead of our senses? Have you ever felt disconnected from yourself, your partner, or even life itself? Many people think something is wrong with them when that happens. Often what's happening is much simpler. They've become trapped inside their minds. The more we live inside thought, the less directly we experience life. So if you feel disconnected today, instead of asking, how do I think differently? Consider what you can experience directly right now. According to Tantra, the world can begin to feel dull, distant, and lifeless when we constantly live inside our thoughts instead of through our senses. Question 9. What are practices like mindful eating or listening deeply to music recommended? If you ever feel like you've read all the books but nothing really has changed, it's because knowledge changes very little by itself. It's practice that changes your nervous system. Every time you consciously return your attention to your senses, you're training yourself to meet life directly rather than through habit. Transformation doesn't usually happen through one big breakthrough, though it can. It can happen through hundreds of small moments of awareness, like just dipping the tea bag until it's flavored, strong. Practices like mindful eating or listening deeply to music train the senses to meet experience directly and completely. Okay, question 10. What is one of the deepest invitations of this week's teaching? If you've ever been waiting for life to become extraordinary before allowing yourself to fully live it, then Tantra offers a beautiful alternative. Perhaps the extraordinary has been hidden inside the ordinary all along. Your relationships, your work, nature, your body, even the challenges you're currently facing. When your attention changes, your experience changes. And perhaps that's where transformation begins. So one of the deepest invitations of this week's teaching is to discover the sacred through fully experiencing your ordinary life. So if you'd like to go through the quiz fully, you can find that in the description. And if you'd like the answers together with my full library of tantric study resources, you can access them completely free using the link in the description. Thank you for being here. And if this week's teaching raised something for you, I'll also link in. I'll put a link to this week's newsletter where I share how I've been integrating this teaching into my own personal life. Because understanding the philosophy is one thing, but learning to live it, that's where transformation truly begins. So thank you for being here, and I'll see you in the next transmission. Cheers.